Hey, welcome back. All right. History of Design, session 12, part B. What do we got going on? All right. Of course, as always, make sure you get in your attendance. Answer the mystery questions. What is a style guide? It's not a drawing tool. It's not a photo effect. A type of grid said, nope, a document with brand guidelines. Boom. That's what it is. Yeah, style guide is a brand guideline. I think they have other names as well, but that's what that is. And that's what this is about, like establishing a brand, well, that's not here. This is history, but we do that in the brand class. Never mind. All right, so we got that done. You know how to use midweek sessions. Tuesday, we have postmodern title, postmodern design. As we know, take from the book. As I've talked about in the past, let's see if we can start getting those to match a little bit. You know, take one idea from one, translate it into the other, see if they can be a little bit more cohesive. It will matter in the end in a couple weeks. And I know we weren't doing that in the beginning, but as we grow as designers, you can start to be like, well, if I'm going to do this here, why don't I carry it over to here? So we'll give that a shot. Now we're in Project C Part 2. But let's check out Project C Part 1, as I know some of you are still going to be working on that. It's fairly straightforward. Is you're choosing 2 graphic designers, 1 male, or 1 who has passed away, 1 who's still with us, 1 male, 1 female. However you want to do it. 100 words about each designer, 5 different pieces for each designer, and then set that up into a nice little presentation. Easy peasy. Here's mine. Got my nice cover page. All right. Found the font that I like, just emulated the font. Did this in InDesign. You make sure, like, the great part is you can see, like, when you go from page to page, to make sure that things don't jump around. See how accurate that is? That's what you go for when you do these presentations. And the reason being, you may say, well, it doesn't matter. But when the client clicks from page to page and they're looking around and they're doing stuff, if you have things move, say, besides the words, but say like these lines kept shifting, they notice that. People notice that and kind of think, well, if that's changing, why is it changing? And should I be looking at that? Instead of like seeing it change, here all the lines are the same and the words change, right? The length, but nothing else does. If I go back and forth. And that's why that accuracy, and that's why using paste and place is so important when you're doing these presentations. So it's very, use that, copy, paste in place, and then just make the alterations because you want that. When a person's looking through, you don't want those distractions. I've sat in meetings, and we give presentations, and I think, oh my God, they're going to notice. Like if I didn't build the presentation, then I'm like, oh my God, look at all those. It's like all over the place. And so as a designer, you can make sure that your presentations, when you're presenting to a client, in which you will do, or you make presentations to show your work, that you want to make sure things are really perfect. And it's easy, it's easy. Paste in place. That's what we do. You start it and then you just keep going. So start of the presentation, Project C Part 1, subject choice. I did CP Pinelli's. And there we go. That's my one. There's a picture of her. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and a little bit of information about her. And then David Carson, again, kept it. Oh, you know what? I thought I had those photos in the exact same spot. So I'm going to fix that. Or this one didn't. Maybe I didn't. No, it auto saves. But those photos should be in the exact same spot. I remember arranging that, but now that it's not, like, I'm going to go back and fix that. Like, even though we're moving on, I'm going to go back and fix that. Let's see, because I get do stuff too. Like when I'm looking at your work, I'll do, if it seems like it's bopping around, I'll make like a little And if I just take that and I copy it and I go up here and I go to paste, oh, it should work. Paste. Oh, come on. Don't steer me wrong. Copy. And I go paste. I can see how far off that is. So I have to adjust for that. And I will adjust for that and fix it. It's, what is that, a 1/4 inch off? I'll write myself a note and I'll make sure I fix that for the next round. It's so easy to do. I remember making them the same size, and I think maybe I was like, oh, I'll fix that right before class. And maybe I didn't. So, but there we go. So 5 pieces, there we are. Next part. This is where it gets funky, and it's going to get funkier. Okay, so we're creating a zine. So it's a single page that deftly folded with a single cut turns into 8 pages. And I have all the dimensions, and then next class, I will give you the Illustrator file and the InDesign file. But right now, we just need to do our 2 roughs. So I want a little bit more visual research, and I want the 2 sketches, or visual and word research. So you're going to be creating an 8-page zine. Pages, a minimum of 8 pages, and it's not a minimum. It is like I have all the information for you. So there's going to be a front cover, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back cover. So that's 8 pages when we include the front cover and the back cover for this. Images, it's a minimum of 12 images, 6 for each subject. So you find if you want more, great, no less. And then we want 1,000 words, 500 for each subject matter. So you already kind of started that. Wherever you get your information from, make sure it complies, that you read it, you double check it, you make sure it's accurate. That is all up to you. So we're going to get this information, right? And that's fairly easy. This is just to let you know what you have to do. The amount of images, I have no idea why this is inset 1. That's driving me nuts right now. I'll fix that. And then the 1,000 words, which is 500 for each subject. Again, you don't have to write it. You just need to get it. Brochure sketches, 2 versions are required. That's it. Come up with 2 ideas, visual layout template is below, and you'll get the Illustrator / InDesign files next week. We know how to do this, right? We know what we're doing, what we're looking for. And right now it can be sketches. But I want you to think about step 4, which doesn't have to play into this yet. Step 4, this is going to be a double duotone document. So for designer 1, you can use the color of the paper, black and 1 color. For designer 2, you may use the color of the paper, black, and a different color. So they can't be the same color. And it means it's going to be basically black and white. Duotone. If you don't know what it is duo, stands for 2. Oh. And it's 2 colors and the paper. So I did this image search earlier. This is actually 3 colors, but it's duotone is 2 colors. So you're going to have to convert your images into 2 colors, and then you're going to have to understand, well, what color is the paper? So the paper can affect things. So you could do something. This is like kind of a good one, where this is like, they have black though too, but this is a duotone image. But this is a blue and a magenta. So you're going to be using black, 1 color, and the paper color. So you can set those up, and I'll teach you how to do that next week. But it's kind of like a 2-color piece. So you're going to be limited. You can't use every color in the world. So for designer 1, if you choose your 1 color is red, then everything is going to be red, black, and white. or the color of the paper. If you're like, I'm going to print on black paper for some reason. In Designer 2, you pick a different color, say blue, then everything is going to be black, white, and blue. So almost think like a one step up from a black and white photocopy. Now the cover, you may use the color of the paper, black and both colors. And then the same with the back color. So the front cover and the back cover, you can combine your two colors. So that becomes, I would say, a tritone. So it's just going to give you a different look and feel. And it's going to be like, I wanted this to look a little bit like just different than we always do. Full color, blah, blah, blah. Like sometimes the restraint, sometimes putting on these limitations changes the way you design. And I think a lot of times when we go into design, we always think full color. Just full color everywhere. It's a rainbow. And then maybe that's not the right choice, but we do it because we think that we have it at our disposal. So this one we don't. So again, Designer 1, that's the black paper. And this isn't going to really affect your drawings right now. Your drawings are to get things set up, figure out where you want to do what you want. So, so you need, for the presentation, you need the 2 thumbnail sketches, the 12 images, the 1,000 words. Is that right? Yeah. And explanations, if anything. And here it is. This is the setup. And I'm going to open up Photoshop to talk about this more, because this is the best way to do it. Like, you can sketch on this. And the direction of the text is the direction of the text that it needs to go on the piece. So it is flipped. And to talk about this, let's talk about design and how we have this set up. All right, let's get the brush out. All right. I'm having a hard time seeing it. All right, so of course we have the front cover. Well, let's look at the design. So furthest out here, we have the bleed, right? So we always, if you're running and you want stuff to go off the page, we go to the bleed. This is our margin. And this is the margin for each page. So there's a full margin for the sheet of paper and an inset margin for each of these. I built this in for you, right? The dotted line indicates the folds, and the green line is the single cut. So there's a cut that happens. So then you figure out, like, how am I going to split this page? You can do something funky, whatever you want to figure that out. And then you got to flip this upside down. Do I have it set? Oh, I have roller. Oh, here. I can flip this upside down, and then so this would be like CP Pinelli's, and then it'd be like, here's the text, and I got our images, and so you have 3 panels for each artist. You also have the back cover, however you want to finish that out. But, again, as we talk about, so right off the bat, so it's 1 image, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have our 6 images. And then if we take 500 words, I'd be, you do 250 here, 250 here, and whatever here. Break it down for yourself. Figure out your modularity for the design and how you want to create that design. And then not only, so then when you go through this is going to be, say, if we just going to do really, like this would be black, white, and red. And then the other ones are going to be black, white, and blue. So you kind of get that. This is the differentiator between the two. And then on the front cover and the back cover, if we split that, like, oh, okay, that's going to be that. And, half is going to be half and half is going to be that. And we'll figure out what the back cover is. you know, you do something fun. Maybe the back cover is an extra image from each designer or something like that. But kind of think, so the first is going to be a split, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The way this comes together is, if you're so curious, it's here. So this is how you do it. This is how it's done. This is like crafty, old school, whatever. So you take your piece of paper, you fold it in half, then you fold it in half again, and then you fold it in half again. Then you unfold it, and you're going to have 8 little panels, right? And then you cut that middle. Some people fold it in half and cut once right here. You'd use exact, whatever. You're really not going to be physically doing this quite yet. Maybe in the future, if you use this. And then you unfold it. And then you fold it in half again, the long way. And then you're going to have this diamond that kind of shows up in the middle. And you pull those apart. And you end up, when you fold that around, it ends up being an 8-page booklet. There's an inside and an outside. So the white of the page is always on the inside, but we're not going to print on that. That would be like a future thing. You do some cool poster so like people could read a little zine and then open it up. You could look up if you're curious and you're like, I don't get this. This is blowing my mind, because things, blow your mind all the time in design. Is single page zine, and you'll find a ton of them, and then find a little YouTube how to fold an 8-page zine, and these are all based on the same concept and premise for the design of what we're working on. So it's pretty simple. It's our standard design process. It's just gathering the final information. Sorry. Did I close out? Oh. It's finding the final information, which is easy. You already know your designers. It's just getting the rest of the words. So you have all the words set. You find there's 6 images. I would go above, do a little couple more. And then doing the 2 sketches, 2 ideas. How do I want this laid out? How do I want them to interact with each other and play with each other? How do I want to differentiate, not just color, but by design? There's so many ideas you can get in there. And then we have 2 pages that may match, that may not match. I just thought of something funny that you could do on that final back page. So the creativity is all up to you. Use this exact document, like when, because you want to design. Here's the other one. When we do your sketches, it needs to fit into this, because you're going to be then designing into this. So don't make up your own layout. Use this exact layout. That's very important in this. This is coming from the printer. So if you alter this, the printer is going to be like, oh, we can't do that. We gave you something. We have everything set. So don't alter this. Use it as is, and then we'll work from there. So with this super fun project, is there any questions, comments, or concerns at this time? All right, jump on in, have some fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a little bit of a different process, and then I'll talk about the duotones in the documents next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.